first, I always skin prep. So this is different than skincare. I've done my skincare already. Now I prep my skin for makeup. So I put on my moisturizer. I use this multi-stick balm. It is amazing for under the eyes if you have any sort of crepiness or fine lines that you feel like could collect some makeup. This will help the makeup glide right over. So if you have any other spots like dry spots, kind of these parenthesis lines, if you get those anywhere where you will gather makeup, put this on and it is going to be like your saving grace. It is amazing. The other thing that I prep my skin with is this Set and Stay spray. I like this when I work because it really makes my makeup last. It has niacinamide, it has hyaluronic acid, just a lot of good things. So it also has, you can see the super fine mist. This application sprayer in here is incredible, best I've ever used. I used to really love the Charlotte Tilbury spray, but this has become my new favorite and it is so good. It kind of helps to hydrate the skin, which I think is really important when you're putting on makeup, especially, I shouldn't say just in the summertime, but we really want that glowy natural skin in the summertime, something that's been sun-kissed and radiant. So that is why I love to prep my skin with those products first. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start applying my makeup. I have been using a hybrid application of Saint Cream makeup, which I will die on this hill because it is so good. Cream makeup is amazing for mature skin, but I've actually found something that works equally as well, and I'm going to share that with you. So cream makeup is just the holy grail for mature skin. It looks so good on the skin. It blends so nicely. It doesn't settle into fine lines. It looks really, really natural. But like I said, I have been using a hybrid application. So what I do first is I apply my dimension first, which means my bronzer. If you're going to apply contour, now would be a great time to do that. Sometimes I do contour, but on the daily, I'm such a basic gal. I like to just throw my makeup on and head out the door. It's really just this last minute thing that I do just to feel put together. But I am going to just bronze first. So I bronze kind of in this C-shape area on my nose and chin. Now comes the main foundation part. I do love cream makeup, but I absolutely have been loving this Korean cushion foundation, and it is an actual cushion, so it's kind of like a sponge in there that holds the makeup. The makeup is, it's not a cream, it's not a liquid, it's not a powder, but it's kind of all three mixed in one. And the benefit of this is it's going to not be as dewy as cream makeup. The longevity is going to be a little bit greater and the coverage is going to be a little more. So while you can get a lighter coverage with the cushion, it is going to provide you with a slightly fuller coverage. And that's why I like to do the bronzer first, because I don't want full coverage everywhere. I love kind of my skin poking through, but if you don't, this is something you can apply prior to putting on your bronzer, your blush, and your contour. This is also packed with Korean skincare, which I absolutely love the benefit of that. So this is applied a little bit different. You're going to use a firmer brush. I use the 3D brush for this, or the powder brush, and I apply this on my jawline where I want a little bit of coverage, and I'm just kind of buffing this into my skin, and you can see how this smooths everything out so beautifully. See how it just kind of gives this, like, I hate to say airbrush finish, but there is a airbrush type of feel to this. So I like to put just like a little bit in this under my nose area, wherever I get a little bit of redness. So I'm going to be honest and tell you I'm having to mix colors right now because I'm kind of in between shades. So natural beige and light are the shades that I'm mixing. Now, you do not have to mix colors. A lot of you will just be one. I'm just a little extra. But what I do with the lighter shade, because the lighter shade I do really love underneath my eyes. I'm going to show you what I do with that. So I love this product for under the eyes. This is where I think this product absolutely shines. So if you want to continue using your whatever you're using for your foundation on your jawline, I like to match my neck. I don't like to be lighter or darker. I really like to have this multi-dimensional face because that's how we were created, right? We have all this dimension on our skin. But I do like a little bit of brightness under my eyes. So I like to tap just a tiny bit of the light shade. And I get in there and grab that product. And I just put a tiny dot kind of in this area and then on this outer area to give a little lift. You can also do this. You can also do this after you do your eye makeup if you want, but I like to do it before because I don't mind putting just a little bit in this corner to brighten. And see how that just gives this a little bit of brightness along the eye there. But you know, like I said, I'm very extra, and this is not something you have to have. Sometimes I actually even use the deep shade and use it as my contour bronzer, and that's really fun too, especially like if you're going out in the evening and it's very warm. This stuff is pretty much waterproof, I think, because I sweat in this and it doesn't budge. It's kind of amazing, but you can see how pretty that coverage is under the eyes. And this is where I believe this product truly shines, is under the eyes, because it does help to plump the skin because it is filled with the Korean skincare. So you aren't going to get, all the pilling and creasing under the eyes. It's going to stay nice and plump and really smooth, which I absolutely love. So now I'm going to do a little blush. This is my favorite part of the entire routine. I am going to use the shade, what is this that I'm using? I swear it was La Cienega. It is. So La Cienega is right here. It is a kind of a glossier shade, so it's a little bit more translucent on the skin, but it has just this tiniest little bit of sheen to it, so it gives your skin just a really pretty natural flush glow. I always do a little on my nose as well, but I do not mind kind of coming in here and giving like this sun-kissed look, where other people really like to keep it high, but I think it's important to keep those cheeks really plumped, especially as you age. So don't be afraid of blush. It's a good thing. And then I just kind of top off with, then I added a tiny bit of rose gold illuminator just on the tops of my cheeks. So now I'm going to go into the eyes. First, what I do is I like to fill in my eyebrows with this is called Precisely My Brow. It is by Benefit, and I just follow my natural line, and it's just a really natural way of doing it. And you just kind of look where your natural hairs grow and just use little tiny strokes to fill in that brow. I do really love this shade for most women. It's more neutral, so it's not going to be a real warm. So if you have naturally warm hair like a redhead or just a really, really warm blonde, maybe you're going to want to go with a little bit of a warmer shade just so it blends a little nicer, but this shade is more neutral. It works for most women. Let's do a really simple eyeshadow. I'm going to use my favorite transition shade called Chai. I love Saint's eyeshadow brush. If you do not own this brush, I would grab it. It is 20 bucks and worth every red cent because it has two ends to it, and this is what I reach for. Even when I'm doing something a little fancier for going out, this is the brush that just works for me. So what I do is I take my transition shade, which is really close to your natural skin tone, just has a little different tone to it, and most women can definitely use this color Chai. Chai and Pup are kind of the ones that I go for most women. So the last thing I'm going to do is just put a little shimmer on the base of my eye. I'm just going to use a little bit of Drift and tap this on. So pretty. Now, if you want to add a little bit more depth, you can take a shade like this color called Sedona, and give yourself just a little hint of a little extra warmth in that corner, which I really do love. So you see how I'm just kind of kissing that corner there, and see the difference? So good. And this one's Sedona. You can also use the color Bubba. You can use Zion. If you want something a little pink. Claire is beautiful as well. But just these 3 shades really do a nice job with giving you a really complete look. Nothing like you've tried too hard, nothing like you're going for a night out on the town, and it's just really pretty. So then I'm gonna finish with my favorite mascara. Right now I am using the Maybelline Sky High. I either use Sky High or L'Oreal Panorama Lash. All right, so all I've done is take a little bit of my Bella bronzer and line my tiny lips just to give them a little bit more plumpness. And then I'm just going to top that off with this Rimmon gloss. This is a plumping gloss, but it's nothing that's going to make you feel like you're having an allergic reaction. You know what I'm talking about? Those glosses that you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for this to wear off. No, this is not that. It's a really fresh feeling on your lips, and it's collagen infused, so it's going to help plump the lips. But see how pretty and natural this whole look is for summertime? It is so good. Then I'm going to finish with the same setting spray. Just three little swipes is all it needs. It just feels so fresh. It's going to keep my makeup all day long. And you can still see my skin. My skin still looks like skin. Everything looks really natural, really pretty look. So if you would like a color match, I'm going to link a form for you in the next slide to grab a color match. You can either choose between a hybrid match or an all cream match. So it's clearly listed in my color match form if you want to choose either one. If you choose the hybrid, I'm going to match you with one foundation shade and then the bronzer, eyeshadows, all the things. But ultimately, it is your choice. A color match does not mean you have to purchase. You can just find your colors. Or you can choose an all cream match, and I would match you for Saints cream foundation, under eye concealer, all the things with just cream. So it is up to you. If you have any questions, I'm here for you.